Hey Chris, how you doing?
I know all about demons' nature. I'm not one of
I'm good. I started a new job today, so I am excited about that. But yeah, what's up doing nails? I'm gonna go to sleep tonight though. I ain't staying up late doing nails like I usually do. Today was pretty good though. Today was orientation, and it was pretty chill.
I was working at the credit union in the federal building downtown.
Mom, by the way, I'm not even close to
Really
Okay.
excited because I was getting ready to close
Okay.
on
Next time, just ask him, Cody.
So when I went to
Looks
work,
Jake. If she asks you stuff, okay, can you stop? Okay,
and
Cody,
just running around talking
don't
to
pay attention to
everybody
him, man.
because
Your
she was
business. Jake. If she asks you to stop, stop. If you in front of her or messing with her, okay, that's all. Okay. I said
really had a sense of community
if you are.
building.
Cody, go mind your business. Jake,
And my
move out the
entire
way. Let her
friend
through.
group was work. Those are my friends. I took it for granted. The agencies in the federal building were Social Security, HUD, ATF, Secret Service, and then you had a daycare.
Well, Tony was 6 months old at the time. And I was working as a judge's bailiff at the county courthouse down the road. I wanted to see him and check on him throughout the day, so the daycare in the Murrah building was closed. So we decided to put him there.
A big treat coming your way on today's Oklahoma at 4. We're going to be taking you into the fantasy world.
I was 30 years old. I had worked at Channel
Thank you,
9 for
love.
9 days. Driving to work that morning, I was so excited
Thank
because I was
you.
going to be the 4 o'clock anchor in the afternoon, and we were starting to lay the groundwork out for this new show that was going to be
I'm running down the street.
Hey,
I get down there,
Cody.
there's a fire
Thank you
truck.
so
I
much,
see Special
girl.
Agent Matt Lott's speech, and I could tell that clearly he was upset. And I said, Matt, what's going on? He said, I left somebody alive in the building. We just sort of turned, looked to the building, and then we both started back.
Cody, you funny. Hey,
Hey,
Chris. I am done. I'm trying to think if I want to do like extra stuff, but I probably don't.
So a lot of fear came down
I don't know.
Oklahoma City as the authorities trying
What's
to figure
crazy
out
is I get so
who did it
creative at the
and what
last
could be
minute, and then I
left
want
of
to
what
just
they did.
add weird stuff. But then I end up messing my sets up. So I think I'm gonna just stop while I'm
Because the
ahead.
evidence is destroyed.
So I'll put my top coat on and be done.
And I would run the investigation.
Ooh, I
We
might
sent in the
not
evidence
though.
response team
I
and
might
started
do
to search
the
site.
cartoon look.
We had hundreds of people working the scene.
I think I will, cause why stop here? You know.
Law enforcement agencies believe that it was a bomb, possibly a car bomb. That certainly hasn't been proven. The forensics people haven't made a
Where
determination yet.
is
We
my
sifted through a lot of things. The key to it though
brush?
was the differential to the truck.
The first key piece of evidence was found a block away from the federal building in front of an apartment complex called the Regency Towers. A gentleman was outside. He heard this swirling noise, almost like a helicopter. And all of a sudden, this rear axle flies into a car.
The FBI came to me because I've worked auto theft 16 years, and when I saw that axle housing so far from the Murrah building, I knew it had to have come from the truck that blew up the building.
The explosion was of such intensity that it caused the rear axle from the truck that was used to deliver the bomb to blow out.
All I could see was the very last number, and I took a chem tool and a wire brush, cleaned it down to the bare metal, and then got the number off the rear end. And that was a huge, huge break. And I called the National Auto Theft Bureau and I told the lady, I need you to build this confidential number to a full VIN.
She said this was an active rental truck.
That truck had been rented 2 days before at Elliott's Body Shop in Junction City, Kansas.
On the day of the bombing, I was in the one-person office in Salina, Kansas. I thought my involvement in this was going to be watching it on TV and reading the paper and be frustrated that I couldn't do something about it. But in the afternoon, about 3 o'clock, I got a call. They tell me the truck was rented out of Junction City, Kansas. Get over there as fast as you can, grab the documents, and get them back to the lab. And when I was reviewing the rental documents from Elliott's Body Shop, I saw that the name that was used by the renter was Robert Klain. At this point, we started interviewing people from Elliott's Body Shop. I realized
Cookie Crisp, that's dope.
ringing nonstop.
And thank you so much,
family members of my
Maria.
coworkers calling to ask if I had seen that person at work that day.
I usually have my
to
mic
see what
muted
they
so I
had
won't get a
on.
copyright strike from YouTube because they be
And
tripping.
I don't remember.
I hope that they find them. I really hope they find them, and I hope they're alive.
April 19th was a terrible day. And April 20th was the moment where people reaching out and
Oh,
trying
cool.
to
Yes.
make it better.
They set up a
Do you go
shopping
live
center
yet?
inside of perimeter where if you didn't have boots, they give you boots. If you wanted something to eat, they had it for you. Would not
I would
take it
definitely
back.
support
The people in
you
Oklahoma were unbelievable.
as
I think
well.
it's what kept everybody going.
And what type of nails do you do? Do you do any acrylics? Do you do
The
gel
sketch artist
X?
arrived and we started working with
Or
the
soft
three
gel, hard
witnesses
gels?
from Elliot's Body Shop. He was surprised because the first witness was describing a white male that looks like he'd been in the military.
Okay.
Not a Middle Eastern
I
male.
just started this month, the month of
And
April.
It's 7
I was
o'clock.
so
We had 2
nervous.
sketches. John
And then once I
one,
started, I was
and the
like,
other
dang, I
John
don't know
two.
why I was nervous the whole time because
And then I got
I do it.
teams of
I
agents to go
do
out
nails
and
anyway,
canvass
so it's
the
just like
Johnson
I'm just
City
turning the
area
camera on
to see if
basically.
there was
So
any sightings of either of these 2 people.
We set up roadblocks. We interviewed.
I don't know, I just like
everybody
practicing on
that
my
might have
hand.
Seen the Ryder truck or seen anybody
Like my mannequin
suspicious
hand.
operating in that
It's fun
area.
to me, therapeutic in a sense.
That morning, I called the court clerk's office. I was trying to get Timothy McVeigh in court that day.
Okay,
And they
yeah,
said,
me
"We can't
too.
get him in today.
That's the
We're
fun
busy."
part, the
So
nail
I said,
part.
okay, and kept Timothy McVeigh another day.
How long you been doing nails?
How you doing today, sir? We're trying to conduct an investigation on the Oklahoma City bombing.
Yes,
Agents
Chris, she's
took
good
copies of
too.
the sketch and
She does a
went
lot of
to
3D art.
restaurants,
I follow her on
auto parts
TikTok.
stores, or hotels.
FBI agents literally went door to door asking, have you seen this? Do you know these guys?
They covered a lot of businesses in 4 hours. And then we got very lucky when one team went into the Dreamland Hotel and spoke to the owner, Leah McGowan.
I did have a couple negative comments for, 2012, yes. That's when I started. My son, he was a baby. He's 13 now. And he was born in 2012. I started nail school and then I dropped out because I had to get a job and quit nail school. And so I just ended up teaching myself and here I am. And then I eventually got licensed. But it was way a long time after 2012 that I got
This is
licensed.
the first time we heard the name Tim McVeigh.
But yeah, I had a negative comment on a couple of my videos and I'm just like, people so negative. Like that's what was keeping me from going live and posting videos. But I just delete the comments and keep going because people gonna be negative.
If the person has
It's
been
part of
pulled
life.
over, it'll tell you where they get pulled over, when they get pulled over. But if you want something off that offline data, you have to ask the computer to find this name. And then you load a tape, it searches it. Unload it, load another one, it searches it. Like it was in slow motion.
At the same time, we check phone records. Any calls that have been made from room 25 at the Dreamland Motel rented by McVeigh. On Saturday night, he made a call to a local restaurant where an order had been placed by a Robert Kling. We know that Robert Kling's the name that was used to rent the Ryder truck. So now we know that either Timothy McVeigh is Robert Kling or is associated with a Robert Kling. We have zeroed in on at least one of the conspirators of this bombing.
Investigators have identified a vehicle that was used in connection with yesterday's attack on the federal building here in Oklahoma City. Further investigation has determined that 2 white males were associated with this vehicle.
Yes, Maria, it is so relaxing. When I'm having a bad day, this is where I come.
These 2 men should provide it immediately to the nearest FBI office.
It blew my mind when we saw
It just
the
takes your mind
sketches.
off of
Looks like a couple of
everything.
You know, that looks like some guys wanted for a beer truck robbery. You know, this does not look like the guys you think have masterminded this incredible explosion. And I think we wanted to think someone else did it to us.
And again, mentioned Jennifer, what a change this is from when all of the spin and the sense of the thing seemed to be Islamic fundamentalists to now suddenly the focus of attention is back on Waco.
Point being, the focus is back on domestic terrorism as opposed to international terrorism.
And you realize, wow, that's us.
Sadness is still great, and it is growing by the hour here in
When I do
Oklahoma
stuff
City.
like this line thicker than this one, I gotta go back and make all my lines thicker.
Let's look at the suspect information we had put out by the FBI yesterday afternoon.
Luckily, I didn't cure it already.
White male, about 5'10".
When I was in the cell, they gave you a description of the composite. 5'9" to 6'1". One of the guys in there said, "Gee, you're a recent arrival," but jokingly, and I was like, "Yeah, listen to the description, it ain't me. I'm 6'2", and we just kept on joking, and then hook, line, and sinker, they bought that, I didn't fit the description, and then their suspicion disappeared right there. Get up the next morning, come to the command post, everybody's excited, and I'm like, what's going on?
Walt Lamar comes in my office and says, "Boss, you're not going to believe it. Timothy McVeigh was arrested in Perry, Oklahoma about an hour after the bombing."
Mid-morning, I receive a telephone call from the FBI, and they want to know if McVeigh is still in jail. And so I said, McVeigh has already been taken to the courtroom and is standing before the judge as we speak. He was 45 minutes away from walking out the door.
He is the linchpin that is going to hold this whole investigation together. I direct Danny to go up to Perry and to prepare for transportation of McVeigh back to Oklahoma City.
Okay, Danny, go get him.
And we start hearing that there's an arrest and that someone is in Perry, Oklahoma at the Noble County Courthouse. So I get in the car with the photographer and we go to Perry.
Okay, I'm about to cure this before I mess it up.
The possibility of one arrest. Let's see if we can go to that right now. We are told that a suspect, a person, is under arrest in Perry, Oklahoma, that meets the description of one of the suspects, composite picture of which was released yesterday.
And then simultaneous to Perry, we found out about a raid in Decker, Michigan.
Yes, I'm gonna definitely subscribe as soon as I get off.
They used a Decker address.
I like connecting with other nail techs and sharing ideas.
And at the Dreamland Motel, Timothy McVeigh used the same address in Michigan.
I could talk about nails and do nails all day. Like if I had some
That
wine
very quickly got out
and
to
some
social
nails
media.
and some homegirls, baby.
Suspect in a house in a rural area
the house in Decker.
I
and
know,
they
right,
didn't
Maria? I'm
find
over here struggling
anybody.
myself. It is hard.
Right now, we want to go live to
I'll be
Perry,
holding my
Oklahoma,
breath
with
and I'll be
Robert
like,
Marshall.
okay, breathe.
In the meantime,
Breathe,
while we're
sis.
there broadcasting live,
Or sometimes
more
I just
people come,
stop
and I
all
even
together and
look around
talk
me,
and
there's
then start back.
thousands of people there.
And there are media from all of the world in this small Oklahoma town.
Which is why it take me a long time. But you know what? I don't care because I enjoy doing
They were
it.
just driven up by the Oklahoma Highway Patrol.
McVeigh was very close to getting out of the courthouse. He was going to get out of there. But we were lucky enough to get there before he was released.
If we had not found Timothy McVeigh when we did, it would have been an excruciating.
But I do, it is
time for
irritating
everybody
sometimes when
involved.
clients be talking to me and they like be really deep in the conversation and I want to listen to them and I want them to, I want to actively listen and like make eye contact and stuff. But it's hard when I'm doing nail art and I don't be want to be rude. So I be kind of torn. Like, I don't want to stop doing your nails to have a conversation. But if you want me to be 100% in the conversation, I'm going to have to actually stop and look at you.
I look up, there's SWAT team on the top of the Noble County Courthouse. I just kept thinking, they got to get this guy out.
I was really concerned about a bad guy trying to kick him or kill him. I mean, if he's part of an organization, if I was running that organization, the first thing I'd kill would be him. I don't want him spilling the beans.
We just waited and waited. The anticipation was getting very high.
First time I saw McVeigh, looked like the composite.
And he says, you know why we're here? And I said, yeah, that Oklahoma City thing, I guess. I don't know anything after that.
Oh, Chris, I'd be too embarrassed to
It's my
sing.
duty to protect McVeigh. I don't want to protect him, but it's my job.
I said, well,
The internet already harsh. So, singing, I ain't got that yet.
no. I was like, well, how about some shoes? They're like, you're not getting no shoes.
And then with YouTube, they real strict about songs and stuff in the background. And between my kids and my cat and my puppy, they be loud over here.
It was hard to pick out individual things because you're all yelling at once, right? But I do distinctly remember one. I heard, "Look over here, motherfucker, baby killer. Look me in the face." My immediate thought was, I'm not going to give you the pleasure of looking over there.
Mr. McVeigh just sped away here from the Noble County Courthouse in small Perry, Oklahoma. He was brought here on a traffic charge and a weapons charge, but the DA and the judge here did not realize who this man was.
Due to several other matters the judge and myself had, we just decided to wait until this morning. We sat all day long, and in most cases, this guy would have bonded out yesterday. How do you feel about that now? God was watching us.
At the same time, the FBI did start collecting evidence at the home of James Nichols and his brother Terry.
The Nichols brothers are very anti-government. They don't believe in our government system. They don't believe in our banks. They're just full of this government hatred.
We learned a lot about Terry Nichols, who is one of Timothy McVeigh's closest associates.
The FBI found out really quickly that this guy named Tim McVeigh had lived up there for a time and had been an army buddy with Terry Nichols.
Okay, now I gotta go in with the way.
Both Terry Nichols and Tim McVeigh in that photograph. At that point, I set every
I heard
my
that,
attention
Chris.
on trying to figure out where Terry Nichols might be.
We learned about a former wife of Terry Nichols named Lana Padilla.
Lana Padilla told us that
I gotta
Terry was
refill
living in
this.
Carrington, Kansas now. Carrington's only a short drive down the road from where the Ryder truck was rented in Junction City, Kansas. So we're really interested in Terry Nichols, So we set up on Terry Nichols' house with the instructions of try not to get
Hey,
noticed,
you gotta drop my
but don't let him
thumb.
get away.
Well, cure my thumb.
The agents sat there for a while until they saw Terry Nichols, when his wife and child come out and get in the truck and start to drive off. As the agents followed, Terry Nichols turned around and passed the street that he lived on and hit a
Since I'm poor, I be trying to make money, and YouTube, it's so hard. Like, they got so many, social media has so many rules. They make it hard to make money because something like this, you want to express yourself, and you can't express yourself with all these rules like governing. That's why I don't like working in nail salons right now. Like, I'd rather do another job because I don't like to be managed when it comes to doing nails. I like to express myself. And like, a lot of salons don't do acrylic, or they anti-acrylic, or they don't have text, they do acrylic, so they only offer dip powder and stuff like in the bougie neighborhoods. So I'm like, I don't want to do dip. I was forced to do dip at a few salons, and I did dip for a minute, but it's just not my thing.
We don't want him dead, but we don't know exactly what we have here. This is
I like to do what I like to do too.
Is he part of a bigger conspiracy? And there's people trying to break him out or kill him? We didn't know. So I got on the intercom.
Okay, where's my weights?
I said, put this thing on the deck. I don't want to walk it up my ass.
Do y'all buy polishes from Amazon? I love them Amazon polishes. Like this brand, I got like the whole collection of this brand. I think it was like $100.
He said this way. Didn't look left, look right. Stone cold.
I got this from Amazon too, the cat eye that I use.
Plus, he said that the SWAT team for security.
Tonight, the arrest of one American, another American being questioned.
In the police department there in Harrington, they interviewed Terry Nichols for 10 hours.
We sit down and start talking to him. He did not seem flustered. He did not seem nervous. He was cold and calm. We kept going back over them going to gun shows and then talking about building bombs. You know, it's the longest interview I'd ever done before. We were able to hit him with some pretty hard stuff. I said, do you think there's any chance that McVeigh could have done this? And his response was, I think he could have done it without me knowing about it. But then Terry made the statement, I know as much as Tim McVeigh doesn't know how to make bombs. We never did get him to say, I did it, or we did it.
You buy all brands? Yeah.
Things, as far as I'm concerned.
Me too. A lot of people, like when they first start off doing nails, I think they just only use one brand, because I've heard of people only using like one brand of polish, and I'm like, how should I like to try it all? And no, Chris, I did not do anything for Easter. I just was at home. I was a little depressed. Like, I live 700 miles from my family, me and my kids. We moved to Chicago from Mississippi, so yeah, I just don't be doing nothing. Unless they ask to do something, I really don't even push it. I did exactly what you did. I didn't go live, though. I kind of rested.
The question became, is he the only one? Is he a part of a group?
Actually,
and is this going to happen again?
Really? Let me fix this one because I don't like this thumb.
They didn't know if there might be any tripwires or anything that might set off an explosion. So the search warrant teams are using an abundance of caution before they finally started executing the search.
We find a trove of
I haven't tried TikTok and Shein yet.
We found 5 rolls of Primedex.
That's what I haven't done.
We found a calling card and a receipt for 2,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate.
After the bombing, Nichols was trying to get rid of this stuff.
I just like to get my stuff the next day. I like to either get my stuff the next day or the same day. So Amazon, they got my heart right now. Even though I should be boycotting Amazon right now. But, and I haven't bought nothing lately, honestly. I just been using all my old stuff. I got a bunch of nail stuff. I'm just going back in and using it all because I just buy stuff and then don't use it. So, yeah.
And I had them get
Amazon was my go-to when I first started back doing nails.
I'm feeling a lot of sympathy.
Because I got my stuff fast.
My son, I could have stood that. That would have been horrible. So I asked him, I said, who would your son do this with? He said, Terry Nichols and Michael Fortier. Bingo.
Michael Fortier, Terry Nichols, and Tim McVeigh served in the military at the same time, and they were like three peas in a pod. They were very close to each other, shared anti-government beliefs, and he's now living in Arizona.
Bob Ricks, he said, we need to go approach Michael Fortier, and I want you to do it.
Oh, Chris, yeah, my mom passed away in 2014, and it's like no holidays are the same
We
anymore.
arranged with the sheriff to have him brought in to talk to me.
I just don't be wanting to celebrate
He
holidays
looked like a rat.
for some reason. Even though I'm a mom and I have kids, it's just, I don't know, it's different.
I do not believe that Tim blew up any building in Oklahoma. McVeigh lived in Kingman off and on the past year. Fortier helped him find a job.
I don't want to talk.
Kingman resident Mike Fortier, Army buddy of McVeigh. Some sources say potentially a major witness in the case. His trailer raided by the FBI. His life in recent weeks turned upside down by federal agents and the media.
At that time, the problem was that we didn't have enough information to charge Michael Fortier. Most important thing that we found at Terry Nichols' house that really tied Michael Fortier to the bombing was the calling card. You have to go back in time a little bit because we all didn't have cell phones, but you could get a calling card that was prepaid, and then every so often you'd have to replenish those funds. And they got that calling card because they thought that would hide their identity. We used that calling card as a roadmap.
This calling card was the key piece that allowed the FBI to map the entire spider web, but it led them to places that they wouldn't have known about otherwise.
And now we can go back to trace where they were whenever they would travel around the country, when they were purchasing components for the bombing. The other thing that this calling card told us was that instead of this big, broad conspiracy that we suspected initially, it was limited to just a small group of people. But we needed to gather evidence that's sufficient for a prosecution.
If you have an insider telling what happened, it goes a long ways, especially if you corroborate everything they're telling you. We had a lot of arguments about that, but we all came to the conclusion, sometimes you have to make a deal with the devil.
I remember he said, you don't understand, we're at war. I said, no, we're not. I'd have killed you already. He said, it's about the Constitution. I said, it is. We're going to arrest you under the Constitution. I'm going to convict you under the Constitution. And one day, we're going to strap you to a gurney. We're going to stick a needle in your arm. We're going to execute you under the Constitution.
And while we all can't stomach the deal with Michael Fortier, we knew it needed to be made.
He gave us a lot of information. That may have been the biggest break in the whole case. He talked about meeting with McVeigh in his kitchen, and how McVeigh talked about how he's going to construct the bomb, and he used toucans to show how McVeigh was going to try to make a shape charge.
After Terry Nichols and Tim McVeigh had acquired the bomb components, they showed Michael Fortier the bomb components.
Tim McVeigh convinces him to take a trip to Oklahoma City, and he shows him where the bombing is going to take place. After that occurred, I think Michael Fortier realized this is real.
I'm sorry to hear that, Chris.
He absolutely knew what Tim McVeigh was going to do. He could have stopped all of this.
Quesadillas sound good.
Phone call.
Charged with having prior
What did I
knowledge of
eat?
the
Oh, I ate
bombing,
Burger
he will
King. I ate
testify against
some
McVeigh and
jalapeno
Nichols
bites. I'm so in
hopes
love
of
with them
getting
right
a
now.
lighter sentence.
Jalapeno bites and a bacon cheeseburger. I'm really not that hungry right now. I'm thirsty though. Probably drink some apple juice.
It was tough for all of us. And
You should go live and show like the full thing.
3 infants still being in that building, and we're zeroing in on them.
I haven't seen Cookie
And very
Crisp
possibly
nails.
those infants will be found.
And do both. Do a short. Do pictures. That's what I do. Like when I go live, I'll go live and then I do a reel with my finished look.
Area where the baby's bodies were.
I'm gonna actually do a reel, short with this set, and I'm gonna tell like part 2 of my Black Nail Tech Diaries, because I had got a rude comment saying that I was lying about an experience that I had on one of my reels, and I'm just like, no, like you can call the nail salon and ask why I left. So I'm gonna do like a follow up on that with my reel with this. I kind of try to recycle my content. Like if I do this online, then just kind of like use it for the reel too, you know? But kind of like make it something else, not the exact. Me actually doing it, kind of like make it into something else, like maybe a story time or something like that. Yeah, girl,
Just
big
sit out
old.
there in the dark, wondering how I could get in so I could hurt him.
Okay, y'all, I am done. This is what they look like.
The arrest of Tim McVeigh was the result of an extraordinary combination of skill, luck, and timing on the part of the very government.
Thank y'all so much for joining. I appreciate y'all so much.
Questions. One of the
For
most
real,
puzzling, if he is guilty as charged, what led him to do this?
Everybody wanted to find out who he was and why he did what he did. And there was
I had no clue what I was gonna do, but it turned out okay.
Who got
Thank you,
the scoop
Maria.
that everybody in the world was after.
I'm about to subscribe right now, Maria. And Chris, don't forget to tag me in your live because I want to check it out.
Dan Herbeck
And I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you again.
And for the most part, the depth of these conversations has never been heard by anyone before. There was word that he was an Army veteran from the first Gulf